Against a green background, a Roman soldier sticks his right hand through a fire that illuminates him in red. In the foreground, there is a quote by Mussolini: "E certo che noi siamo il popolo nel vene del quale scorre la magia or parti del sangue che scorreva nel vene degli antichi Romani e lo dimostreremo." It is certain that we are the people in the veins of whom runs for the most part the blood that ran in the veins of ancient Romans, and we are going to prove it, followed by the dictator's signature. This poster was built around an excerpt from Mussolini's speech at the Chamber of Fasces and Corporations on December 2, 1942. 30 months after Italy's entry into the war, June 1940, Mussolini stopped to take stock of the war operations up until that point and encouraged the Italian people to keep fighting until the final victory. As was the case with the nationalist discourse of the 19th century, Italian fascism embedded a glorified version of the past in its ideology. It promoted the idea of the tenacity of the Italian people, purportedly inherited from the ancient Romans.
Benito Mussolini was one of the most notorious dictators of the 20th century, but how did his empire come crashing down? What happened in his gruesome final moments? And how did he wind up in a monastery after his death? Keep watching to find out. Mussolini was an Italian political leader turned fascist dictator who ruled the country from 1925 until 1945. He was one of Hitler's most important allies in World War II and a vicious despot to boot. Mussolini's National Fascist Party rounded up socialists, restricted the press, and imprisoned suspected anti-fascists without trial. He started his own fascist youth group similar to the Hitler Youth, and called for the expulsion of Jews from Italy in an attempt to align with his German counterpart. This policy led to the death of 8,950 Italian Jews in Nazi concentration camps between 1943 and 1945. Mussolini was able to dominate Italy using an organized group of ex-soldiers known as the Black Shirts. Founded in 1919, the Black Shirts used violence to instill fear and keep Italians in check. At the same time, Mussolini's regime turned out endless propaganda and took steps to enshrine his permanent rule as Il Duce into law. This all came crashing down, however, after the breakout of World War II. As the war turned against the Axis forces, Mussolini became worried about being handed over for his crimes. He had a stroke of luck, however, when the German military took over control of northern Italy in 1943. Mussolini subsequently ran Hitler's puppet government in the region until the Allied forces finally triumphed in 19...